Are you tired of hearing that wealth is all about luck or inheritance? Have you ever wondered if there's a secret sauce to making money that nobody's telling you about? If so, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into the hidden truth about money and exploring how you can build wealth from absolutely nothing. It's not just about being born with a silver spoon or winning the lottery. Society has all these biases about money that make it seem like becoming wealthy is reserved for a select few. We're here to challenge that. We'll discuss real strategies and debunk those common myths. And here's the best part. These strategies are not just for business tycoons, they're for everyone, including you. So if you're curious about how to build wealth from the ground up and discover the real truth behind money, stick around. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join the conversation in the comments below. Let's get started. First, let's talk about the beginning, the environment you grew up in and the things you learned when you were young. Have you ever noticed how some families talk about money all the time, while others avoid the topic like it's cursed? That difference can shape how you view money as an adult. If your parents were open about budgets, savings, and investments, you might feel more confident with your finances. But if money was something they stressed about or fought over, it could make you anxious about it. Think about how your environment played a role in your beliefs about wealth. Did you hear things like, "Money doesn't grow on trees," or "We can't afford that"? Those sayings stick with you, even if you don't realize it. Schools are another piece of the puzzle. Did your school have a finance class, or was it just maths and science? Most schools don't teach you about credit, loans, or how to balance a budget, and that's a huge gap in our education system. Your environment also includes your neighborhood and the people around you. If you grew up in a community where everyone struggled to make ends meet, you might think that's just the way it is. But if you saw people starting businesses or building successful careers, it might have opened your eyes to new possibilities. The good news is that you can change your mindset about money, no matter where you come from. It's all about recognizing the influences around you and deciding what to keep and what to leave behind. Let's talk about the wealthy. When you think of rich people, what's the first thing that pops into your mind? Probably someone in a fancy suit, driving a shiny sports car, living in a mansion with a butler, right? But here's the thing. That's just a stereotype, and it's not even close to the full story. The truth is, a lot of wealthy people are regular folks like you and me. They don't always flaunt their wealth with flashy cars or gigantic houses. Instead, they often live modestly and focus on building businesses, creating value, and solving problems. Look at someone like Sam Walton, the founder of Walmart. He was one of the richest people in the world, but he drove around in a simple pickup truck and wore the same clothes for years. He didn't feel the need to show off. Another stereotype is that rich people are greedy and don't care about others. But guess what? Many of them are incredibly generous. Bill Gates, for example, has given away billions of dollars through his foundation to tackle global issues like health and education. It's a reminder that having money doesn't mean you're selfish, it can mean you have the power to make a difference. And let's not forget the idea that wealthy people just got lucky or inherited their money. Sure, some did, but many didn't. People like Oprah Winfrey and Howard Schultz came from humble beginnings. They worked their way up, took risks, and made smart choices. It's not about being born into the right family. It's about finding opportunities and going after them. So next time you hear someone talking about those rich people, remember, there's more to the story. Wealthy people aren't a monolithic group. They're as diverse and complex as anyone else. And if you work hard and solve the right problems, there's nothing stopping you from joining their ranks. Now let's talk about something we've been told for a long time, the traditional way to make money. You know the drill: get a good job, work hard, save for retirement, and maybe, just maybe, you'll be able to relax when you're 65. But is that really the best way to build wealth from scratch? I mean, if you're trading your time for a paycheck, there's only so much you can do, right? The thing is, time is finite. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. If you're stuck in a 9-to-5 grind, your income is limited by the hours you can work. This is why the rich and successful think differently about money. They don't just rely on a salary, they create other sources of income. They find ways to make money while they're sleeping. So how do you break away from this old school way of thinking? Well, it's all about creating value. If you can offer something valuable that people need, you can make money from it, whether it's a product, a service, or a great idea. There's always room for something new. Another thing to consider is that the traditional path doesn't account for innovation and technology. We're living in a time where you can start a business from your laptop, connect with people worldwide, and create multiple streams of income. It's all part of the truth about money and how you can build wealth from absolutely nothing. So let's rethink that traditional job mentality and explore new ways to create income. Because if you only rely on a paycheck, you're leaving a lot of opportunities on the table. And that's the hidden truth about money. You don't have to follow the same old script to find success. By the way, if you're enjoying the video so far and want more content like this, comment the word money so I know. All right, let's switch gears and talk about something really cool: problem solving. Now you might think, what's so special about that? Well, let me tell you, it's the secret sauce to building wealth. Seriously. Think about it like this: every big idea, every successful business, it all started with someone saying, "Hey, there's a problem here, and I think I can fix it." Take Steve Jobs, for example. He saw a problem with clunky computers and said, "I can make something better." And boom, Apple was born. But here's the thing: problem solving isn't just about fixing little annoyances. It's about seeing the world differently. It's like putting on a pair of glasses and suddenly everything becomes clear. When you start looking for problems to solve, you start seeing opportunities everywhere. And let me tell you, it's not just about making money. Sure, that's a nice bonus, but the real satisfaction comes from making a difference. When you solve a problem, you're making someone's life better. You're adding value to the world, and that's pretty darn amazing if you ask me. So next time you're feeling stuck or unsure about what to do, ask yourself, what problem can I solve? It could be something small, like finding a better way to organize your closet, or something big, like revolutionizing an entire industry. The point is, there's always a problem waiting to be solved. All you have to do is find it and get to work. And don't be afraid to think outside the box. Some of the best solutions come from the most unexpected places. So go ahead, unleash your inner problem solver, and watch as the world opens up to you in ways you never imagined. Trust me, it's a journey worth taking. Now, let's talk about creating value. This is one of those things you hear a lot about in business circles, but what does it really mean? Simply put, creating value is about solving a problem or fulfilling a need. People pay for things that make their lives easier or better in some way. So, if you're thinking about starting a business, ask yourself, what problem can I solve? Creating a business that adds value doesn't mean you need a huge team or millions of dollars. Sometimes, the simplest ideas turn out to be the most valuable. Look at Airbnb, for example. The founders, Brian Chesky and Joe Gebbia, started with a problem. They needed to make rent. So they rented out air mattresses in their living room to people attending a conference in San Francisco. The idea caught on because it offered a unique solution to a common problem: affordable accommodations. Fast forward a few years, and Airbnb is a multi-billion-dollar company, all because they found a way to create value by connecting people who needed places to stay with those who had spare rooms. Creating value often involves seeing an opportunity where others don't. It's about asking, what can I do differently? Or, how can I make this better? If you can answer those questions, you're on your way to building something meaningful. And that's the key, meaningful. Because when you create something that matters to people, the money follows. So start with the problem, think about how to solve it, and then find a way to scale that solution. That's how you create value and build a business that can really make a difference. Now let's talk about technology. It's like the secret sauce when it comes to building wealth from scratch. The crazy thing is that we're living in an era where you can use tech to scale a business way beyond what anyone could do a few decades ago. Think about it. 20 years ago, starting a business meant you needed a physical office, lots of employees, and a hefty budget. But now you can run an entire operation from your laptop at home. That's what makes it so exciting for anyone looking to build wealth. Take automation, for example. You know those tedious tasks that take forever, like sending out invoices or tracking inventory. You can set up software to handle all that for you. so you can focus on the big picture. It's like having a virtual assistant who never sleeps, never takes a vacation, and never complains about working overtime. This is the game changer if you're wondering how to build wealth from nothing. And let's not forget about social media and online platforms. These days, you don't need a huge marketing budget to reach millions of people. Just think of all those viral videos that blow up overnight, giving small businesses massive exposure. It's the kind of visibility that would have cost a fortune in traditional advertising. Here's where it gets interesting. The tech tools out there aren't just for the big companies, they're for everyone. You can leverage them to automate processes, scale operations, and reach a wider audience without breaking the bank. The hidden truth about money is that technology has leveled the playing field. If you're smart about it, you can use these tools to take your business from zero to hero, no matter where you start. All right, let's talk about how to make your ideas big, really big. We're talking about pursuing scalable solutions. Now, what does that mean? Well, think of it like this. If you have a fantastic idea, you want it to reach as many people as possible, right? That's scalability in a nutshell. Imagine you've got a recipe for the most delicious cookies ever. You could bake a few for yourself and your friends, but wouldn't it be awesome if you could bake thousands and share them with the world? That's the power of scalability. So how do you do it? First off, you need to think about your idea in terms of growth. Is it something that can expand without needing a ton of extra effort from you? Take a look at businesses like Uber or Airbnb. They started small but grew into global giants because they had scalable models. Now, scalability isn't just about size, it's also about impact. You want your idea to make a real difference in people's lives, right? Whether it's solving a problem, making something more convenient, or just bringing joy, scalability means spreading that impact far and wide. And here's the thing, you don't have to reinvent the wheel to be scalable. Sometimes it's about finding a new angle or a better way of doing things. Look at companies like Netflix or Spotify. They took existing ideas, movies, and music, and made them more accessible to everyone. That's scalability in action. So when you're pursuing scalable solutions, think big, think impact, and think about how you can make your idea reach as many people as possible. Because when you do, that's when you'll really start to see the magic happen. Now let's dive into the exciting part, making money from your solutions and reaching financial freedom. Picture this. You got this brilliant idea, right? Maybe it's a cool gadget, a helpful app, or a service that people can't live without. How do you turn that into cash? Well, let me break it down for you. First off, you've got to find ways to sell your solution. It could be through direct sales, like selling your product online or in stores, or maybe you're offering a subscription service where people pay a monthly fee for access to your genius creation. Then there's advertising. Hey, if your solution is getting attention, why not let some ads piggyback on that? But wait, there's more. Ever heard of licensing? It's like renting out your idea to someone else who wants to use it. You get paid a fee, and they get to run with your brilliant concept. It's a win-win. Now let's talk about passive income. This is the dream, guys. It's money that comes rolling in while you're sipping on a margarita on the beach. How do you get it? Well, think about investments like stocks, real estate, or even starting your own little empire of rental properties. These things can bring in cash without you having to lift a finger. Now, let's talk about the journey of building wealth. It's not all smooth sailing, let me tell you. Picture it like a road trip. You've got your snacks, your tunes, and your GPS set to success. But along the way, you might hit some traffic jams or take a wrong turn. That's just how it goes. But here's the thing, those bumps in the road, they're part of the adventure. They teach you valuable lessons and make the destination even sweeter. So don't be afraid to embrace the ups and downs of the journey. Think of it like climbing a mountain. Sure, it's tough, but the view from the top, it's worth every step. And hey, if it were easy, everyone would do it, right? So take pride in the struggles you face. They're what make your story unique. Now let's talk about meaningful struggles. These aren't just any old challenges. They're the ones that really push you to grow. Maybe it's overcoming a fear of failure or learning to trust your instincts. Whatever it is, embrace it. Because when you conquer those meaningful struggles, you become stronger and more resilient. Remember, it's not just about reaching the destination, it's about enjoying the journey along the way. So take a moment to appreciate how far you've come and keep pushing forward. You've got this. Let's talk about challenges and failure. Two words that can feel like a punch in the gut, right? When you're on the journey to build wealth, you're going to hit bumps in the road. That's just how it is. But here's the thing. Challenges aren't there to stop you. They're there to help you grow. Think of it this way. When you're working out at the gym, it's not the easy sets that build muscle. It's the ones that make you sweat. The ones where you're pushing against resistance. The same goes for building wealth. If you're not hitting any walls, you're probably not pushing hard enough. Now, failure, that's a whole other beast. It can feel like the end of the world when something you've worked on just doesn't work out. But failure isn't permanent. It's like learning to ride a bike. You fall a bunch of times, but eventually, you find your balance. The key is to get back up and keep going. Here's a tip. When you fail, don't just brush it off. Take a moment to understand what went wrong. Was it a bad decision? Did you underestimate something? Learn from it. That's how you turn a setback into a comeback. It's like adjusting your sails on a boat. If the wind changes, you don't just give up, you adjust and keep sailing. So, when challenges come your way, see them as opportunities to grow. When you fail, see it as a chance to learn and get better. Keep your focus on the bigger picture and remember that every successful person has faced failure. What sets them apart is their ability to keep going, no matter what. All right, guys, that's it for today's video on the hidden truths about money. I hope you found this information helpful and inspiring. Remember, wealth isn't just about money. It's about creating value, solving problems, and making a positive impact. Now, if you found this video helpful, I highly recommend watching my next video, which is the perfect complement to this one. Thank you for joining us today, and don't forget like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your engagement is like applause for our efforts, and it motivates us to bring even more valuable content your way. So feel free to drop a comment below. I appreciate your support, and I'll see you in my next video.